So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fun with Python series with Akansha Academy. So, here we are discussing some of the very interesting facts and lesser known questions which you might get in your upcoming interviews. Okay. So, today we will be discussing questions about list, tuple, and dictionary. And guys, please follow this video series. Please subscribe to our channel so that you clear your doubts and become interview ready. Okay, so without waiting for much, we'll start the session for today. Okay, so the first question is about string reversal and indexing. Okay, so here we can see that we have a string called Python. Okay, and now what we are trying to do, we'll forget this print. With the string, what we are trying to do, this is basically a syntax to reverse the string, and we are trying to print the second element. Okay, so as we always say, how do we learn? We learn by executing the code. Okay, so this is, let's suppose we have initialized the string with Python. Okay, now we'll show how does this work. Okay, uh, the first thing in this is the start point. Okay, let's suppose we are going till 5. Okay, and what we'll do, we'll try to print this, right? So we'll print this. So what we are doing, we are trying to start from zeroth index, that is P, and we'll end at the fifth index, that is N. And we are going like the incremental steps. The steps we are taking is one step forward. Okay. So let's see what happens. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we went till the 5, but what happens? 5 is excluded here. Okay. Now we'll try to do another thing. If we want to print the entire Python, in that case, we need to do this. And let's suppose we are going 2 steps at a time. Then what will happen? So it will print the P, it will take 2 steps, and it will print the T. Then again it will take 2 steps and print the O, and then we are not left with any more elements in the string, or like, right? And what will happen if we do not give any start or end? Okay, so again, it is printing the same thing. That means if we do not pass the start and the end element, okay, the index of the start and end element, then it will take the entire string into consideration, and it will take 2 steps at a time. Now we'll see what happens when we give the steps to be like one step backwards at a time. Then what will happen? So actually it is reversing the string. Okay. Now we'll come to the question. So we'll take a pause here, guys. What do you think? What could be the answer for this question? Okay. What will it print? You can comment in the comment box, right? I hope you have already done that. And just for checking, we'll see. So what happens, like we already have this first string, and it will print the second element, like second index. Okay, so 0, 1, 2 is H. Okay, since the index starts with 0, so 0 is N, 1 is O, and 2 is H. So that's why it has printed H. So I think the entire string reversal and indexing part is clear with you guys. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. List shallow copy with inner mutable object. Okay, so what are we doing here? So we are having a list which in turn, like inside it contains another list, okay, of 2 elements. Okay, now we are trying to initialize another variable B with the with the variable a. Okay, now what we are doing, we are trying to change some of the contents of the list b, or the variable b, which is actually a list. Okay, we are trying to change the one index 1. So index 1 is 0, 1 is this list, and the 0th element is 2, and we are trying to replace it with 99, and we are trying to print a. Although we have made changes in b, we are trying to print the variable a. So what do you think, guys? What would it print? Okay, you can comment below. Okay, I hope that you have already commented. Now just to check whether your answer is correct, we'll run this. Okay, so as you can see, not only the values of b has changed, but the values of a variable has also changed. So how does it happen? Okay, I'll try to explain. So it happens because when we initialize any list, any dictionary with these kind of statements like b equal to a, what does it do? It just creates a reference to the same variable. Okay, it will create the reference to the same variable. So either we change the value of a or we change the value of b, it remains the same. Let's suppose uh, we are changing something in a. Okay, we are making it 99, and then we are trying to print b. Okay, then you will obviously see that the values of both the variables have changed. As you can see, we have made some changes in A, but it is reflecting in B. That clearly defines that the content is the same. A and B are referencing to the same content, right? So that's why it is called a shallow copy. Okay, if it was like entire whatever values are there in a is copied to b, and then both becomes independent. Whatever changes we make in one variable is not reflected upon in another variable. Okay, so guys, we'll move to the next question. Okay, it is more interesting. Now, tuple immutability but mutable inside. Okay. So as we all know, tuples are mutable, like immutable objects. We cannot change the values. It is the definition. Okay. Most of the interview questions, what they will ask about what is the difference between a list, a tuple, and a dictionary. So mostly you will say tuple is immutable. So whenever we need to keep certain fixed things, okay, which are not going to change for the entire duration of the program, then we will create a tuple. Okay, that would be your answer. So this question is to test your knowledge for tuple. Okay, now what happens, like in this we are initializing a tuple. Okay, but inside the tuple, as we all know, it can have any kind of value. So we have a list as the third element. Okay, now what we are doing to do, like the third element has index 2, we are trying to append 5 in it. Okay, in the list we are trying to append. So list is mutable, we can change the values in a list, but tuple is immutable. So what will happen? Will it throw error? Okay, or will we be able to change the values in a list, but then what happens with definition of a tuple? It is immutable. Okay, so this question will clear all doubts, guys. You can comment what you feel might be the answer to this question. Okay. Meanwhile, let's run. Okay. Hope you have already commented, and now we'll check the answers. So it has indeed changed the values in the list. And how does it happen? Did we learn something incorrect? Are tuples mutable? No. Tuples are immutable because like we cannot change the structure in a tuple. Okay, the overall structure, whatever mutable values are present inside a tuple, definitely we can change them, but the immutable values or the overall structure in a tuple remains the same. That's why inside the tuple we have a mutable value called a list. So because list is mutable, we can obviously change it, but the tuple always preserves the overall structure. Okay. So this was another tricky question in many of the Python interviews, like when we go for Selenium with Python interview or any other Python core interviews, then also these tricky questions will come along your way. And if you follow our Fun with Python series, then most of those questions will be answered and you will be interview ready. So hop on, guys. We'll go to the next question. Okay. Now this is list slicing in reverse. Okay. Now what is happening? A equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. And we already discussed how slicing happens. Now print A minus 2 till 0, and the step is one step backwards. Okay. So what happens when we start from minus 2? So minus 2 is minus 1 minus 2, that is 30, and we are going till 0th element, that is 10, and we are taking like one step backwards. Okay. So what do you think, guys? What will be the output of this? You can comment. Meanwhile, we'll run this, and I hope this will again clear your slicing knowledge. So this prints just 20 and 30. So why does it happen? Like as we were discussing, like it will go till 10. But when we were discussing the slicing, we already discussed that the second, like the end is not inclusive. Okay. So it will not include. So it is just including 30 and 20. It will reverse, like 30 becomes the first element, 20 becomes the second element, and it will print. The print statement will print, right? So this thing will check again. Okay, we are trying to print 0 till third element, but as we all know, third element like 0, 1, 2, 3. So I hope that 40 will be excluded. So yes, like our assumption and our knowledge was correct. We are just printing 10, 20, and 30. Right, guys? So again, we are moving to the next interesting question, which is dictionary reference behavior. Okay. So we have a dictionary called D, the variable is D, and inside it we have two elements A and B. So keys are A and B, and the values are 1 and 2. Okay. Now what we are doing, like we are trying to make a copy. Again, we have, as we have discussed, whenever we copy, it creates a reference. No actual copy happens. Okay. We are trying to copy the value, like copy a reference to the values in D to D2. Okay. Now we are trying to change some values in D2 of A, and with 99. Okay. The value of key A becomes 99, and we are trying to print D. Obviously, like the D will be changed as well. So with this hope, like what do you think, guys? Will it happen, or does it just happen with list, not with dictionary? We'll see in a while. So we can see that the values both D and D2, even if we print D2, you'll be able to see it is the same value. So the the entire structure remains the same, or the value we are referring remains the same in both the variables. Either it is D2 or D, it remains the same. Okay. Now, string strip confusion. Okay. So what happens with the strip command? We use strip commands many a times to remove the leading and trailing zeros, the spaces. Okay. So what happens exactly? So we are taking a string called S here. Okay. And then we are trying to print S dot strip B dot strip A. So the strip, guys, basically what does it do? It will remove the leading and trailing values when wherever B is present. So here what we can see, B is here, so B is not in the end, so it will remove the this part. Okay. Now thereafter we are trying to strip the A's. Okay, so we have A in the beginning and in the last. So we'll be left with NaN. Okay, so this is as per definition, and we'll try to run this also. Like you guys can comment what could be the answer with explanation. Okay. Meanwhile, we are running. So as we discussed, it gave the answer NaN, and we have explained it very well. So this will clear your confusion about the strip command. Okay. So whenever you face in the interview, please thank me. Now we'll go to the next question: list multiplication versus concatenation. Okay. So what we are doing, we have a list with three elements, 1, 2, 3, and we are trying to print a into 2 equal to. Okay. So first of all, let's take this into consideration. We'll initialize, and then what does it do? Like, what do we mean by a into 2? Okay. So what it basically did is it created like a copy twice. Okay. And what is meant by a plus a? So it again like created the same thing, right? So now this print statement, what do you think the answer will be? Will it be true or false? Like a into 2 equal to, because both are same, right? So it gives a result true because equal to, as we discussed one of the earlier videos with for fun with Python, we already discussed that equal to just checks for the values. If the values are same, it will return true. If it is any way different, okay, then it will return false. But this is statement will check a reference. Are they referring to the same, right? So it is returning a false. What we'll do, we have this list called a. Now we will initialize another variable b with a. Okay. Now we'll try to print. So it is returning true. That means b and a are referring to the same. Okay, same place in the memory. Okay, whenever we do any changes, like we already discussed about list and dictionary, when we create shallow copies, they are referring to the same value in the memory. Okay. Now guys, we'll move to the next question. Okay, tuple identity check. Okay, we have a tuple called t which has just one element. Okay, print t into 3 is, okay, we are trying to check. So before checking, what we'll do, we'll try to initialize the tuple and we'll try to print this t into 3. So as we can see, it has created a tuple with 3 elements, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now when we compare this, obviously the output will be false because we are not referring to same element in the memory. Okay, it has returned false. Now we'll move to the next question, dictionary key ordering. Like we have a dictionary with two keys X and Y and the values are 10 and 20. Now we are trying to print list of D dot keys. D dot keys is X and Y. Okay. And we are creating a list out of it and we are trying to print the first index 0, 1. Okay. So please comment guys, what do you think the answer could be? Okay, meanwhile we'll run this example because we can learn anything by executing the code. Okay, and it has printed y because it is the first index. Okay, d dot keys is the, we'll see, d dot keys, so it is printing X and Y. So X is the zeroth index and first index is Y. That's why it returned Y. Okay. So let's move to the next question. List reference modification. Okay. A equal to 1, 2, 3, B equal to A, B dot append 4. Then it is the same question we have kept so that your fundamentals are very clear. So whatever like we are trying to append 4, so obviously it will be reflected in A as well. Yeah. So our foundation is very clear now. Tuple slicing and indexing. So we are trying to like reverse the string and print the zeroth element. Will be 3. Okay. Yes. So these things we already explained in the earlier part. If you have skipped, please watch the entire video very carefully. Okay. Now dictionary plus mutable list update. We have a dictionary with keys A and B, and the values are list 1, 2, list 3, 4. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to modify uh, the value of key A, and we are trying to add 5. So what it will do? Will it return 5 and 7, or rather 6 and 7? Okay. So we'll see in this example. Whenever we use the add symbol, what does it understand? Okay. So instead, what happened, instead of addition, when we do with a list, it understands that we are trying to add one element. That's why it has added one element in the very end. Okay. So this is another concept, guys, like which is clear now. Okay. When we see the plus symbol in a list, it will not add to each and every value. Instead, it will add another element in the list. Okay. So string slicing forward and reverse. Okay. So what we are doing, we are like start and end. We have not provided. We are moving 2 steps forward. Again, start and end. We have not provided, and we are reversing. Okay. So you guys, you can comment. We'll take a pause. Okay. Before we actually execute this code. Okay. What do you think the answer could be? So I have hope that you guys have already commented, and let's check whether you have answered correctly. Okay, it is ECA. So what is happening, like it will start with A, then it will take 2 steps C, then it will take 2 steps E. Okay, so we are left with ACE. Now what we are doing, we are reversing, so it will be ECA. That's why the answer is ECA, right? So with this, guys, we came to the last question of this episode, which is like a dictionary with 2 keys A and B having values 1 and 2. We are trying to print A in D dot keys. Okay. So in the keys, A is present and 1 in D. So whenever like we do not define what we are looking into, the keys or the values, then we'll learn what happens. Okay. So as you see, the first statement returned true and the second returned false. A in D dot keys, obviously like A is one of the keys of this dictionary. That's why it returned true. But 1 in D, okay. So whenever we check like for overall D, it will just check for the keys. Okay. Even if we remove like dot keys here, it will check in the keys itself, not in the values. That's why it returned false. So yeah, this was the video, guys, for you. Okay, fun with Python. Like we discussed, list, tuple, and dictionary. Similarly, we'll be uploading another set of videos. Okay, one by one, so that topic by topic it gets clear and you become very confident. You are already clear about the fundamentals. Now we are discussing some edge case scenarios, some tricky questions. okay, which will again boost your confidence and increase your fundamental knowledge. Thank you so much for staying till this point in this video, guys. Please subscribe to our channel, okay, and like press the notification bell, and also share with your friends, with your colleagues, to whom you want to spread the knowledge. Thank you so much, guys. Keep learning.